Mickey, congratulations. Through to round 2 at Ali Pali. How would you sum up your emotions for us after that?
Yeah, brilliant. Look, winning the game in the Ali Pali's brilliant, and that's just what it's all about. Like, you come here, you want to win a game. It doesn't matter where it's the first round or the first thing you have to do is win a game, and then everything progresses after that.
And your finishing is usually one of the strongest elements of your game, and it was again tonight. How pleased were you with that aspect of your game?
Surprising, yeah. I don't know what the statistics is, or I didn't look anything from. I've heard a lot of stuff from the Grand Slam about how well it was finishing, and I didn't perform to them expectations. Believe it or not, tonight I was in the practice room here tonight, and I just focused on scoring. If I've been honest, I'd say I wouldn't have threw 15 minutes in doubles because I was so conscious of me scoring on to give me that opportunity, which is not a ideal preparation, but that was just how I was feeling in my game. I was under a lot of pressure, and I was thinking the scoring has to get me there first. There's no point in practicing the doubles if you're not going to get at them.
And this was your first televised appearance since the Grand Slam of darts. How much belief have you taken from that run to the semi-finals?
Yeah, and I did know coming into it that I was probably on a bit of a... I was very happy, to be honest, whenever I came out of the Grand Slam. I wouldn't say I was happy. I wasn't playing in the Players' Championship. I was disappointed at the time that I didn't play in the Players' Championship, obviously in rankings and all the rest, but for a mental point of view, I was glad that I had 3 or 4 days off to step away from it. I'm probably coming in here, maybe I'm on an advantage because all the aspects of looking back was as in the Grand Slam. I had no negative thoughts. Say if I had went to the Players' Championship and got beat at whatever stage or whatever, I had no negative thoughts. So I was coming in here from a Grand Slam semi-final. So probably from a disappointment in one aspect of it, coming to the World Championships, it done me good, like, you know.
And Jonny Clayton, up next for you. What's your mindset going into that game?
Well, look, I have to be better. There's no doubt about that. You know what I mean? Premier League winner and all the rest, you know. But I hadn't really thought about Jonny. It's no different than last year. I knew Brenton was there to be played as a seed. Didn't make any difference what seed I played. For me, the priority was about winning the first game, and which thankfully I done that last year, and I've done this year. So now I've and thankfully I have a couple of days now to tune in for Jonny. So I'm sure Johnny's waiting for me. All right.
Mickey, congratulations. Last time we spoke to you at Wolverhampton, you were excited to go home and see what the reaction was going to be. What was it like when you got home to that tremendous run?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Like, I come from a small community between Carlisle and Clonlow and all, and everywhere I went, and all the messages I got was fantastic. You know, it's brilliant to be in that situation, but I was glad whenever I come to England that I have to get away from that situation, you know, because it's not all bees and rainbows and all, you know what I mean? It's a tough shift, and you have to kind of take yourself out of that sort of equation. So I was glad to come. Probably one of the reasons I come here on Wednesday to get myself away and switch off all social media and everything I had to do to prepare, because, you know, people can have an opinion and think it's an easy draw or whatever, but I was never ever under that opinion, you know. So I come a day earlier with under that expectation of kind of blanking that out.
In terms of mindset, is this the best you've ever felt coming in to a World Championship?
probably from the Grand Slam, I was, you know, I have to say today or the last 2 or 3 days coming up, I was tense, but I think that was as a nervous expectation of how I was expecting myself to perform. You know what I mean? I was putting myself under a bit of pressure. So we're now come to the next game. The expectations I know won't be there. It was just about winning the first game. I've done that. It was probably nobody wants to talk about things about defending money and all that, but I've defended a bit of money. So now I have 2 days to prepare, and I definitely think I'll enjoy tonight, and I'll be more relaxed. Definitely come to the next game.
In Wolverhampton, obviously, we heard about how your son fractured his ankle celebrating. How is that?
I don't know. Well, if I was looking at it there at the minute, I hope him and as I said before, I hope him and the other son has maybe 2 fractured ankles because they're jumping about there in the night. You know what I mean? Because look, it's disappointing for him, but look, I'm giving them opportunity to be these situations don't come regular for me or my family. You know what I mean? And say you have to enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's all right for the top players. It happens on a regular basis, and the families. And I think that's probably what's not publicised enough. That it's not about the players that you see up on the dartboard or whatever. Like there's a serious amount of sacrifices going on behind the scenes between wives, girlfriends, or whatever. And as I say, I have 2 sons and a daughter, and for the last 10 or 12 years, they have seen all the hardships. And look, I'm fortunate at the minute. I'm on a bit of a crest of a wave, and they can enjoy it, and that's brilliant. Thank you.
Mickey, you talked about being on the crest of a wave there. How long do you think you can ride that wave, and how far do you think you can keep going up those rankings?
Well, I suppose if you lift, I never thought. Most of the time, I'm always looking at probably the other side of the rankings between what's happening with 64. You know what I mean? From the Grand Slam, where it has projected me into the rankings. Now, definitely, my attitude has changed. When all of a sudden you're looking up the ladder than looking down the ladder. You know what I mean? And I've heard a few other players talking about that sort of profile and how they would want to be better. And I suppose I'm no different. You know what I mean? It's alright saying whenever you're 78 or whatever 80 in the world, I'm talking about I want to be in the top 32 or the top 16. Look, it sounds good. It's brilliant, but the reality is it's not easy got there. But whenever you're in the whenever you create yourself into that position, which I have now created myself, them opportunities now is available, and I suppose that's where I'm looking. I'm looking up the ladder and not looking down it.
With that, do the expectations of yourself and what you can achieve coming into these tournaments, do they change?
Not really. No, the whole thing is about luck. I think about all coming to any tournaments, and I have to say it's no different between the Grand Slam. It's about performing and playing well. I think if you play well, that's where you see where your game's at. You know what I mean? And sometimes, look, the PDC's at a serious level here at the minute, and playing well doesn't guarantee anything. You know what I mean? So, but it gives you an opportunity. So the first thing is you have to play well to give yourself the opportunity and see where that takes you. So every time I come up, I want to play well and see where that takes me. And at the minute, it's got me here at the minute.
Mickey, well on the win on that stage. You mentioned now that you're looking up at the rankings rather than down. If you continue to look up and you continue to play well and create more opportunities, is there a chance that you may look at your full-time job and consider cutting down your hours? We know some people have done that in the past where they've been working and cut down their hours to try to focus more on darts.
Yeah, and I suppose from the Grand Slam, I'm very fortunate. I've had a sponsor come back in, big time, local person, is a Harp Screen, and he's given me a serious opportunity now. It's up to me to what the decisions I take and how I use that till the best of my advantage. But for, I suppose, for somebody at 51 years of age, being on the tour for the last 12, 13 years, these opportunities have never ever come to me, you know what I mean? So I've got an opportunity over the last few weeks, thankfully, and I'll see how it evolves and what's the best way forward, you know. But I'm very grateful that I have an opportunity because of a sponsor that has come forward, you know, a local man, and he's so proud, and he's given me an opportunity.